Welcome everybody to What's Up, Bolts? I'm Fernando Ramirez. That sunglass don and hat wearing son of a gun is Dan in Daygo.
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't mean to do that.
Yes, you did.
Chargers, short week, head to a well-rested Chiefs team who played last Thursday against the Denver Broncos. They won 19-8. That score has happened before, though, so it wasn't one of those, oh, this score has never happened, but we'll get into some of that. Unfortunately, I failed you guys this week. We did not get a guest, but we'll try for next week. Next week it is the Bears. We'll try and get a guest.
Bears.
I wish I could get Seth Rollins, WWE Seth Rollins, to break down that game with me, but I don't know. Maybe in the Super Bowl we'll
Is
try
that even
it.
how it goes? Yeah, right?
Oh, and all they do is sing my song. So we'll try and get somebody, but obviously, this week is a big week for the Chargers. We all know they lost last week against the
Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys.
Against the Dallas Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
Real quick, Dan, just so that you yeah, I mean it's gonna be a tough game, obviously, just because it is Kansas City. Dan, real quick before we move on, I'll give you a little bit.
Oh, let's see.
You just dance in the middle of the ring.
Inject this into my veins, dude. I love seeing Seth freaking Rollins come out. Let me ask you a question, though, and any listener who's a WWE fan, what is better, Frau, when they do that
Or
Cody
you
Rhodes
suck
when they sing his song?
Oh,
no, Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, that has to be
how they do the
yeah.
Whoa. What do you think is better? Which one do you think is better?
Oof.
Part of me wants to say the Cody Rhodes one because it's loud in that moment, like deafening. But then the other part's like, I kind of like Seth Rollins' thing a little bit more because it goes longer. Like literally, it's his whole entrance just doing this, like the freaking the guy in charge of the orchestra. I forgot what it's called. I don't know if it's Maestro. Música, Maestro.
That's in Spanish.
Getting bilingual over here. We do it all. We're a culture. We do it. We bring culture. We bring so much knowledge of everything over here. Shout out to you, Frown, for that one.
Well, I mean, that's what we try and do here. I know Charger fans are probably like, what does this have to do with anything? And real quick, so that you guys know, I hope I don't get tagged for this one, but
we got to have some fun. Yeah. Well, don't say anything. Let them hear it. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. So freaking loud, dude.
It's so sick.
All right, my veins.
All right, and like you say on COMPAS, back to enough with the dilly dally.
Yeah, that's right. Enough with the dilly dally.
Fans didn't come here to listen to
WWE takes. Yeah,
that's for Combat COMPAS. Yeah. Obviously, Dan, it's a big week. The Charger coming off, like we said, off of that loss to the Dallas Cowboys. It was a close game. Dan, they've lost in their 3 losses. They have 8 points. Of the differential is 8 points.
Yeah, 1 score.
2 points. 2 points. Not even one kick could change the whole outcome of every single game. Obviously, a lot's being made right now about Justin Herbert. We try to kill that noise on Monday night, obviously, when we spoke about it. Then we did it again on the COMPAS on the Beat, so make sure you guys check that out.
It's a joke.
But obviously, and it's obviously that the quarterback position is going to be looked at the most when it comes to that kind of stuff. But Dan, for that, so we're talking about Justin Herbert and and what's happening, right, with all that stuff. Well, CBS today put out a video, which I don't completely agree. I agree with some of it. I don't agree with all of it.
Better not be
But
some slander.
here, let's check it out real quick, Dan, and let
Let's
me
see
know
what
what you
CBS has. Let's see what CBS has.
Know that the Chargers have been the least clutch team in the NFL for almost 2 decades. Since Justin Herbert took the reins in 2020, the Chargers are 10-12 in games decided by 3 or fewer, giving them the most losses of any team in that situation. And while he's been in the league, Herbert leads the NFL in multiple clutch interception stats. And the craziest part is, this type of heartbreak is not new for Chargers fans. Since 2006, the Chargers have lost the most one-possession games in the NFL. And during his time, Rivers led the NFL in the same clutch interception stats as Herbert. But look, it's not all on the quarterback. The defense has consistently come up short in clutch situations as well. Since 2006, in the fourth quarter and overtime, they've ranked 29th in defensive EPA, 24th in yards per play allowed, and dead last in third down stops. So there's plenty of blame to go around. Did you know?
So with that video, I just have to start off by saying they literally make it seem like Justin Herbert is the reason why this is happening.
And then they say, "Oh, well, here's."
And then they soften it up with Rivers. But see, with Rivers, he had 41 quarterback comeback or game comebacks. They didn't have that. Justin has 14, which is the most since 2020. They didn't have that. And then they soften it up at the end with, "Oh, hey, but the defense has also been one of the worst."
Stupid. I don't need a stupid video from CBS to let me know what the Chargers history is. I've watched the damn team for 27 years of my life. I don't need some How much do you think they paid for that package, dude? By the employee, the benefits and everything else, and the idiots getting the clips. That to me is so silly. Like I don't know how to even describe it. Like last year we talked about this a lot, right? Where it's like I took flack for it, but I stand by it. I thought the defense was better last year in the sense that they would get stops and they would give the offense opportunities. Just under Joe Lombardi, they couldn't do anything to come up with some points in the second half and things of that nature. So in that sense, like that's just like a lot of things go into it. Everybody is just so razzle dazzled that Mahomes and some of these guys like Mahomes, Brady, and a lot of these guys, you know, they come in clutch and da 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 da. What has Mahomes had in some of them that Herbert has not? Number one is stability at the head coaching position. They've had the same head coach, both legendary head coaches, play callers, and everything else. And whether people want to admit it or not, that does factor in because we've talked about it before. I think you could put friggin' ball boys out there with Andy Reid, and he's gonna dice up a defense you draw up. So I think that stuff is just so silly. It's just trying to go viral and get some likes and some comments. So I think that is just manure. I don't know why they disrespect my boy, the son of Odin, God of freaking lightning. I don't know why they do it, Frown. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but and it's one of those things where it's like, what, like, so is this the new narrative? Like we've all seen so far this season, like Jalen Hurts has struggled, Joe Burrow struggled, Patrick Mahomes is struggling at times as well. So but I mean, obviously, okay,
that one.
Let me take Patrick Mahomes out of that because obviously he's won 2 Super Bowls, so that one's gonna just already take me out of that. But when you're talking about those other quarterbacks, they're struggling. Lamar struggled here and there. So I don't know, dude. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's so
a joke.
Like it's so sad that you obviously have to tear people down. Your boy was back at it again, Emmanuel Ocho. He's like, everyone just wants to blame other people. They never want to blame Justin Herbert. He's like, now all of a sudden, these guys suck and that guy sucks. And I'm like,
so it's Justin Herbert's fault. It's Justin Herbert's fault that Trey Pipkins oversets and beats him inside for a sack, set up 3rd or 4th and 10. I don't remember what. It's Justin Herbert's fault that, here we go. Yeah, the narrative is inevitable. That's a son of Odin right there, dude. But it's just so crazy to me. Like,
there's Dan.
Yeah. Exactly. Shout out to the young goat, dude. Yeah. That is the young goat right there. But it's so funny to me how we just want to ignore everything. Like the interception against against what's it called?
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys. The Cowboys. He throws like a 50-50 ball because it's a curl route, and Quentin Johnston just gets bodied and pushed out of the way. Like he didn't really go up for it. You know, should he have thrown that? Maybe
No.
not. But he at least put it in a place where it gave him a chance to be able to fall back for
I
it.
wonder if in his head he thought it was. Well, no, because I don't want to say that.
Yeah,
You know how like
Miami against
no,
Miami,
you
I
remember a
think it
couple
was
of years.
just a turnover on downs.
You remember a couple of years ago, Brady was like, "It's fourth down now," and they're like, "No, it was fourth down."
Who knows?
But then it was revealed, obviously, that Brady had a concussion in that game, so I don't want to bring that up.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's just unfortunate, and it's just going to happen. They always have to choose one quarterback to go after, and I guess it's going to be him until he wins.
It's funny to me because it's like you have the throwing Samoan throwing punts, but I mean, no one goes after him because he's winning and they're 5-1 or whatever. And
I heard somebody say it the other day. He's barely throwing any bad passes. They're all on time. It's like, no, he's throwing it ahead of time.
Yeah,
and knowing like, oh, hey, he's gonna get open. Like
it's timing, dude. It's
timing.
Yeah,
and I mean, we heard what Greeny said. What? Well, I ain't gonna get into that either. But all right, enough of that. Enough of that stuff.
Stop slandering my boy.
Did you hear what Pat McAfee said this week?
No, what was that? The one about the life of a Chargers fan or something?
Yeah,
I saw that. Again, I don't need a video to tell me what I've already seen with my own eyes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's like, honestly, half of the time.
It says every single week you have no idea how you're gonna lose, but you know it's coming.
You know what's funny? I think was it you and I for sure watched the Jacksonville game together. But I think did I have a friend over there or no? Was it one of the?
No.
It was just you and I, right?
Yeah.
You know what it was? I was texting my coaching buddies. They're like, "Oh, you got it in the bag." Da, 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 da. I literally put, "You guys have no idea what I've lived with and what I've seen."
Well, no, Mike Williams is gonna, and that's the thing. I don't know people. I don't think people understand how valuable Mike Williams is to this offense
because of the threat,
especially because you have a rookie receiver who still hasn't. The chemistry is not there, and I want to get to that now. I spoke to him the other day, and I asked him like, "Hey, how's it going for you?" He's like, "Look, I'm trying to stay positive. I'm doing everything I need to do. I just need to keep on working." And Justin and I are doing everything that we need to get our chemistry down. We're staying after practice. We're talking. We're doing everything. But Dan, it's just going to be a trust factor. It's going to be a feel out, and I know that that's how it's going to be. But I wanted to show you real quick. So there are some, and obviously I'm not. It's just what I've seen on some of these videos. But if you look right here, he takes off and look, boom. But I could tell that guy was back here. Here's the interesting one. He's one-on-one, and he's literally like by himself.
Too bad we can't see the full like play and screen to see where he goes or what he saw.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's the thing, and that's what I've been telling you is that I think the kid has something, but the thing is, Justin, and obviously nobody's condoning just throw it. Like, it's just make sure, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
you got to find them. You got to look for them.
Go
through your reads.
Oh, wait, Justin pitches it. Never mind. My bad. Shoot. Okay, here's the next play. He's at the top.
Here we go.
Okay, so there he's covered.
Doubled. The guy on the edge was wide open. I wonder.
You know what? You know what I can tell though? The Cowboys were nervous about his speed.
Yeah.
Right there.
They're giving him cushion.
Look at what he does right there.
Yeah. He was open.
Right past the cornerback, and he's open. But Justin goes underneath the Keenan. Oh,
you know what it is too.
No, you know what though? Look, he had already look at all the pressure he has.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Look at the pocket collapsing right there.
Exactly. So he had already thrown it to Keenan.
Yeah, that was a complete timing route right there. That's what I think is the biggest problem not having Corey Linsley right now, is that they have just not looked right up front. I think
that's a thing that nobody's talking about.
No.
Corey Linsley is missed.
Yeah. Mike Williams missed also.
Oh, I forgot. I have something for you.
Oh, yeah? That's the other thing. It's like I think besides the fact that yes, they gave up a crucial sack late in the game against Miami, but I think for the most part they just naturally always look better with him in there for whatever reason. I don't know if he gets them on the right page or if he gives them more confidence or what it is, but they did not look good up front against the Cowboys, and I think they're facing a really good defensive front with against Kansas City. They just got Frank Clark.
Just
what is this?
Been about the cohesiveness of the offensive line.
For sure. I mean, I think just with our line, I think that as the season goes on, taking steps forward, learning new things, playing against a lot of different fronts, a lot of different challenges, a lot of different good players. And so, we're just figuring it out as we go, learning as the pieces move. Probably going to move again. It's a long season, hopefully not. But, we'll see. So, yeah, for sure. But, yeah, we're just excited for every new challenge that comes up. So.
I apologize. It just, for some reason, it just started. It's Jamari Salyer. I'm interviewing him, and I got that for you, Dan. So here's some more.
Shout out.
What has been the transition like from left tackle to now right guard?
I mean, I think it's been a long time from then to now. So I think just being able to settle in, being able to play against different players, and just different challenges, different defenses, I think has helped. And then going through training camp, playing against a lot of good players on the other side of the locker room too. So, having that experience and even getting a chance to do that in college, I think it's been something.
Someone said that you guys need to do that the whole team needs to do a better job running the ball, the whole offense. Just what does that mean for you guys? What do you guys have to do to help with that?
I mean, I think just for us, just make sure we're clean on our techniques. When teams do things to try to stop us from doing what we like to do, having an answer for that, whether it's technique, calls or whatever. Just being on the same page about what we're trying to get done and how we want to do it and what it's supposed to look like. I think it's just the biggest thing.
I'm sorry it started when we were still talking about Quentin, but
no, you're good.
Just quick thoughts on what Jamari said.
Yeah, like that's what it's gonna be, right? Like he's gonna settle in. He's got to get more comfortable with he's gonna settle in and get the more reps he gets, the more comfortable he's gonna be. And I mean that's gonna take time. But I mean, again, I think there's some sort of I don't know. There's just not the same level of cohesion, I think, than when Linsley's in there. And you saw too, I think Clapp got rolled up on or something during the game. So who knows if he's 100% going into this game and everything else. So
and the thing is too, Dan, is that that Corey Linsley, like the huddle's behind him and he's listening, but at the same time he's watching and he's telling Justin, hey, this is happening, that's happening. Justin obviously knows also what's going on, but at the same time, it just helps having a veteran like that in your corner.
100%. And everybody forgets that the center's the quarterback of the freaking offensive line, right? So if either they're not getting on the same page or whatever it is, because I honestly thought the pocket was not clean for Justin to throw against Dallas at all. Yeah, they had a real hard time. Really,
I thought it was rough against the Raiders as well.
Yeah, against the Raiders also. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like, you can't have that, dude. Like you can't, and I bet you anything it's in the back of his mind this week. He's got to be a little bit nervous of something similar happening to him that happened last year with the cracked rib and stuff like that. Like you got to keep him upright and let him sling that freaking thing, dude. He already messed up his finger. God forbid something else happens. Like it's not gonna get any prettier, Frown. If the son of Odin goes down, it's not gonna be good. It is not gonna be good. So they have a big challenge this week because they have a lot of guys up front. Steve Spagnuolo, credit to him. He's done a lot with that defense over the years since he's been in Kansas City. I felt like this year the defense has been the best part of Kansas City. It hasn't even been the offense. So yeah. I think they're going to have a very difficult challenge ahead of them. I think it's going to be very difficult to keep Justin Herbert clean and off the ground, but they're going to have to figure out a way not only to keep him upright, but to get the running game going, because that's another thing that's going to hurt him against this defense.
Yeah, let's go real quick to Justin. Justin was asked about if there's a sense of urgency, if there's any panic in the team, or any of that.
Frustration, is there a sense of urgency because of where you're at, or? There's a sense of urgency regardless of the week, whether it's week 1 or whether it's week 6 or 7. Guys are wanting to win, and I think that's the most important thing. But panicking isn't going to help anyone, and whether it's 0-5 or 2-3, panicking won't help. And so to understand that guys are showing up and they're going to give their best effort, and we're going to do everything we can to win this game. And that's the most important thing. And if you start looking forward or looking too far ahead, I think you lose your focus.
I thought that was actually a pretty good soundbite from Justin. That was a pretty good insight.
Because that's the gospel truth, right? If the main guys start to panic, it seeps through the team and then chaos ensues, right? You got to have a calm, steady hand to make sure it's on the wheel and you're driving the bus in the right direction, right? Because I think, I don't know if we talked about this on regular combos or on What's Up Bolts last week or whatever, or on Monday. I think they're at a crossroads because I think, I don't have the schedule in front of me if you want to pull it up. I think they're at a crossroads right now. I think they have very tough games coming up. And if you can't figure out how to muscle out some wins, it's only going to get worse from here.
Bears at Chargers next Sunday.
Okay, besides the flag football team in Chicago, they
Chargers at Jets after that.
They have a really good defense. Everybody will laugh and snicker at
Lions at Chargers.
The Lions are rolling right now. They have a very physical team. They're going to beat you up for sure.
Chargers
right?
at Packers.
Okay, I hate LaFleur. I can't say many nice things. They might have some weapons out there. I don't know.
Baltimore.
Wait, when's that
Chargers.
game though? When's that game? That's already in November.
November 19th.
Yeah, see, it's going to be cold out there in Lambeau, dude. Not going to be for
Ravens
the faint
at
of heart.
Chargers.
Ravens?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game also. So you see what I'm saying? They have a
Chargers
gauntlet
at
coming
Patriots.
up. They still have a good defense, probably. I'm not going to doubt the GOAT. Don't you ever doubt the GOAT. Don't you? Oh, I forgot about that. That's another one. You know, he's going to be looking to make some people look silly.
Last week, I think I saw his stat. He gave up 1 reception for 6 yards.
Jeez. But anyway, you see what I'm saying, though? Right now, you're at a crossroads. The Chiefs are limping a little bit on offense. They haven't looked as clean as they have in years past. Can you do it to try and get back? Because remember, the division games count as 2, like games, because they're that much more important, right? You know, you have to try and win the division. Divisional games are just a lot more important. That in conference games because of seedings and things of that nature. So I think they have a long road ahead of them. They need to try and put the best game plan together to figure it out on Sunday, because they're losing in a lot of, like obviously the video suggests, a lot of one-score games, right? They need to start getting on the other side of that, or else it's not going to be very good, and nobody's going to be there too long.
Obviously, let's get into a little bit of the stats. So the Chiefs are allowing 284 yards a game. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the NFL. They're allowing 183 yards, passing yards, 1, 2, 5, 6 in the NFL. The one
Top
area that
defense.
they struggle a little bit is running the football. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12th in the NFL with 100 yards. The Chargers are right behind them with 102.6.
Well, there you go.
And then points per game, the Chiefs give up 19.5, which is, whoa, where is it? Oh, whoa. No, my bad. They give up 14.7 points a game, which is second behind the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to have a tough time this weekend. If they thought they had a tough time against Dan Quinn and the Cowboys defense, I think they're going to have an even harder time against this one because, like I said, they have Chris Jones, who can get after it from any spot across the offensive line. They just got Frank Clark, you said, right?
Yup.
And he was
No. They got McCole Hartman. Frank Clark still hasn't gotten a visit with the Chiefs yet.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, then never mind. I retract that. But, you know, they've been figuring it out up front. It's like we talked about, I think on COMPAS. I can't remember after what game it was, or if it was after the Lion game. But in my mind, the defenses look better than in years past, that's for sure. And the offense is struggling now, so it's like right now's the time to try and strike, I guess, because it's not like you have to worry about keeping up scores with them. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to run up the scoreboards with them right now, because you saw they lost they've lost a few games just because either guys haven't been able to get open or they just have bad drops and all this other stuff. So
Patrick Mahomes right now. Oh, we're talking about the defense, but
yeah. I think the defense is going to be very good. I think it's going to be very tough on Sunday.
But their defense, let's see. Their defense is
trying to think of who they played last week.
The Broncos.
Oh, you're right.
Their defense, Drew Tranquil is their leading tackler with 35.
There you go. Oh, and he's excited for this game.
Chris Jones has 5.5 sacks. Mike Dana has 3.5. George Karlaftis has 2.5. Drew Tranquil has 1.5.
Yeah, and Steve
the scary part is their secondary. Mike Edwards was a good addition for them. They have Justin Reed. They have some good corners. It's gonna be a tough matchup.
Steve Spagnuolo is a good coordinator. He's been in the league for years. Obviously, he's
gotten fired like 7 times by Chiefs fans, but
yeah, exactly. But he still sticks around. Hey, credit where credit's due. The guys come up clutch in Super Bowls, stopping these offenses. So, I mean, obviously, whether you want to attribute it to zebras or not, but he's a hell of a coordinator. He's going to have his boys rolling on Sunday, and he's going to make Kellen Moore's life a living hell on Sunday.
So now let's move over to the offensive side for the Chiefs, and let's hear what Derwin James had to say about one of his favorite matchups this year.
Go up against the best. You love going up against the best this weekend.
Shout out to the reporter.
Going for a while. You, Travis Kelce, just how excited are you for that matchup?
Excited. Can't wait to get back out there, play another game. Can't wait.
What makes him one of the best tight ends possibly to ever have played?
I just say his ability to get open. He's always finding his way to get open, yards after catch. He's one of the best at doing that. So I just got to be ready. We got to be ready.
How do you slow him down?
Doing my job. Knowing my defense, executing it, and like I said, going out there, giving them different looks and changing it up on them.
That's going to be a key matchup, Dan, because when you look at the stats, Mahomes has thrown 1,593 yards. 387 of those have gone. Or my bad, sorry, I'm in running back. 346 of those have gone to Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
So
you know what I would do if I was Andy Reid right now?
What?
I would either run the football like a mother, or I'd put Travis Kelce out wide and hope to God Michael Davis is on him. Right there, that's the matchup you're going to pick every single time.
If I'm the Chargers, I might have Derwin follow him.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Because I know they tried a couple of years ago that whole Michael Davis on Travis Kelce, and it just did not work. Their second leading receiver is Rashee Rice. He's a rookie out of, I can't remember where, 245, 2 touchdowns. One guy that probably will not play this weekend is Justin Watson. He has an elbow injury, and I don't think they're expecting him to play. He's the third leading receiver on that team. But Dan, I'm with you. I think there's going to be a heavy dosage of Isaiah Pacheco. He has 387 yards on the ground with 3 touchdowns, including 135 receiving yards. So he has almost 600 yards. He has over 600 yards of offense for this team. So he's been quite a find for them. So he's just been the perfect package for them. But real quick, obviously going up against Patrick Mahomes isn't going to be easy. I asked Derwin James about the emphasis of having to bring him down and not letting him slip out of their hands.
This is going to be a wrap up the quarter, especially with that kind of got away.
Shout out to the reporter.
Exactly.
You definitely got to wrap him up because he can throw it right hand, left hand, the guy holding him. So you got to get him all the way to the ground, and the play's never over with this team. So we know that as a defense, and we got to scram.
That's a big challenge right there. I think I'm pretty sure he's had a lot more pressure for sure this year than he did last year. So this is really the game where you need to try and get some of these dogs going, because you can't let them sit back there and freaking take his time like they always like to, because they can't get home. And I think that's the biggest problem when you face the type of Mahomes. You got to get in there and collapse the pocket and make him uncomfortable. Make him uncomfortable. Chase him either to the D tackle inside or to the edge rusher outside. And another thing I'll tell you right now, if I was Andy Reid also, I would look at some of this Miami tape and some of these other teams that they've played. I'd do a lot of motion.
Well, McCole Hardman is now back. They traded him back to Kansas City. I'm sure he's going to play this weekend.
Yeah,
so
he knows the system, I'm sure.
Exactly. So he's going to be ready to go.
And that's the thing too, right? It's like they have another guy in the system because we talked about in the car or on the way over or whatever, their receivers clearly were not doing enough if they traded for McCole Hardman back. So that's Andy Reid probably needed a vet in the system. That way he can try and muscle out some of these wins until he can figure it out what's going on with some of these receivers. But I would do a lot of motion, get their eyes in the backfield, get them confused on who they're supposed to pick up and stuff like that. You already know every time he plays the Chargers for now, it's like a freaking screen clinic. He shows you how to properly run screens and everything like that. That'll end up on all my coaches' feeds right there. Andy Reid and the Chiefs run a damn screen is on the Chargers because, clearly it always works on them. So that's
by the way, Dan, because we weren't able to get a media member, I messaged the Chiefs and I'm like, hey, can we get Patrick Mahomes on the show? They're like, for Dan and Daygo, of course you guys can have him on the show.
Sure.
So let's hear a little bit of what Patrick Mahomes told the media.
Someone probably asked him about Taylor Swift
this week. Oh my God.
7 sacks. So when you're looking at their defense, is he the guy you key on?
I mean, they got a lot of guys. I think that's their record doesn't reflect it this year, but we understand how good this football team is. They're a playoff football team, a team that we play to one score, it seems like every single game. Great quarterback, great weapons on the offense, great defense all around. And so it'll be a great challenge for us. And something that we have to step up for. The offense, we need to play better in order to win this game. And I think this will be a great opportunity for us to go up against a great defense and see what we can do.
Is the Mack truck somebody you keep?
100%. You got him and Joey Bosa on the other side, so it's tough to choose between one of those two guys because those are two of the best pass rushers in the league.
How do you think the offense can be better?
Yeah,
I love how she said the Mack truck.
That's all nice and dandy, but number one objective offensively for Andy Reid, get the ball out as soon as possible, dude.
And the thing is, Dan, back there is the reason why they're asking them so much about the offense. They've scored 20 points, 17 points, 23 points, 27 points, and 19 points.
What's happened to the Chiefs?
The only time that they scored more than that was in the first game of Taylor Swift where they scored 41 against the Bears. But I think what's ended up happening, Dan, is the fact that you don't have that number one receiver. Again, I know you don't like this, but last year they had Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju did all the dirty work. He was the receiver that would block. He's the receiver that did a lot for that offense. And that's the same thing. And he was a weapon that did all, like I said, all the dirty work. Then years past, it was all Tyreek Hill. Yeah. This year, they don't have a guy like that. So it all falls on Travis Kelce and some of the other guys that they have. Sky Moore. Who's the guy that they brought from the Giants? Kadarius Toney. Yeah. But those guys drop passes. Those guys aren't always open, so they needed something. That's why they went to go get McCole Hardman. But even then, it's still going to be a little bit of a struggle. I, at the beginning of the season, thought, Mike Evans probably going to end up a Chief. I definitely thought that was going to happen.
Someone else rumored to go there. I just don't remember who it was.
DeAndre Hopkins during free agency.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think it is. I think the Chiefs' offense is going to struggle for a bit until they kind of figure themselves out. Maybe in November, middle of November. But if they can't, it's going to be that simple fact that they don't have that receiver that can do different things that can help the defense out or that can help the offense out. So that's just my 2 cents when it comes to that. But this offense is dangerous. We've seen what they can do. We know that we know exactly that at any point they can turn it on. And and they're just a really good football team that is very well coached. And like Patrick Mahomes said, Dan, since Justin Herbert came into the league, we're not going to count that 2021 game in January when the Chiefs benched everybody. So his first game, the Chiefs won by 3 points. The next game, the Chargers won by 6 points. The next game, the Chiefs won by 6 points. The last September, the Chiefs won by 3 points, and the one on Sunday Night Football on November 20th, the Chiefs won by 3 points. So these games are close. We know this game's going to be close. We know that this is how these two teams battle. It's a great matchup. I love watching these two go at it. And that's why I'm saying I wish we could. Last year, we were so close to watching it in the playoffs. But obviously we know what happened. But I just feel like these two teams are kind of the heavyweights of this division. I mean, obviously the Chiefs have won it since 2000. I think it's
17, 18,
16. I think since 2016 they've won the division every single year. So, but I actually am very excited for this matchup. I think that both teams are. It's going to be interesting to see the fight that the Chargers have because they keep on talking about the fight and what they have. So it's going to be interesting to watch them this weekend go at it. But it's going to be a struggle. But Dan, before we head out, because we do need to get going, they're going to honor a player this weekend. The Chiefs are that you know pretty well.
Oh, really?
You remember this guy?
Hopefully Jackson doesn't dance on their. I remember that
Dante
guy.
Hall.
Yeah, of course I do. That guy was a dog, dude. He was also a returner.
You got to meet him. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that at the camp.
Give us your story.
Oh, about that? Oh, yeah, I remember that. He was showing kids how to. It was like when I was in what round? You think like 8th grade or something like that?
Yeah,
I was at
maybe a freshman.
Maybe a freshman. I was at some camp and he was showing us how to field punts, which was wild. Oh, look at him. He's fired up. Speaking of which, I'm glad you brought him up, actually. I hope this Sunday we get a little dose of Darius Davis, dude. Like, I hope they actually try and incorporate him into this offense. I don't know why they don't, since he's so explosive and everything else, and he gives you a different type of look. Like, they just need to get a little more creative.
Okay, you just completely butchered that story, so I'm gonna have to tell it.
Yeah.
So obviously we're at this camp, and Dante Hall's trying to teach kids how to field punts. Guys kept on dropping it, and then Dante looks over, and he goes, "Big fella, let me use you real quick." And Dan just goes over there. He's like, "Yes, coach." He's like, "Can you field this punt? This is what you need to do." And he shows Dan exactly how to do it. And Dan catches it and takes off running. And he's like, "Are you kidding me? The big offensive lineman can do it. And now y'all can do it." And he got all fired up.
Exactly.
And he was fired. And Dan comes back over and he goes, "Good job, big man." And he high fives him and everything. And Dan got all excited. He's like, yeah. I'm the guy. So obviously,
that's what we do.
That was just a funny thing. But
I forgot to tell you, fool. Today I was scout team quarterback.
Oh, really?
Terrible.
Green!
All the kids were laughing their asses off.
Before we get into our last things, look, this is what I think Brandon Staley is gonna have to do on Sunday.
Oh my God.
That was District 5. We lost a few games. Tough. That was District 5. Now we're the Ducks. Yeah. And the Ducks are undefeated.
All right.
Quack. 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 No!
Oh,
by the way,
God.
By the way, I'm glad that you mentioned Phillip Rivers. I have to show you this from New Heights. Oh, I brought.
Wow. Hopefully we don't get flagged for that one.
I don't know, but Dan, just real quick,
that's
quick
hilarious.
Fantasy play. You're gonna go Darius Davis?
No, fantasy player.
Oh, my bad, not fantasy. Give me a fantasy, real quick.
Fantasy. I would use Pacheco, honestly.
Okay.
I think Kelce's too obvious.
I'm gonna go Josh Palmer. X Factor.
X factor. I think that's going to be Chargers defensive line. If they can't get after Mahomes, it's going to be a long day, dude.
I'm going to go McCole Hartman. Prediction.
Chiefs.
I will go Chiefs as well. We appreciate you guys so much for checking out another episode of What's Up, Bolts. Again, after the game, Dan and I will be here to break it all down. We appreciate you guys so much. I am so sorry for all the wrestling stuff and all the extra stuff. But you guys know how we do it. We have to, you have to take a little bit of the razzle dazzle with the stuff that we do. But again, we appreciate you guys so much for rocking with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, be a compa, tell your compas about what the compas on the beat are doing. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend. And again, thank you guys so much for checking out the episode. For Dan and Daygo, I'm Fernando Ramirez. Thank you guys so much and have a good one.